At this year's Irish Eurosong competition, there was a bit of a controversy about the expert panel of judges who took part in the competition, passing comments on each song. But do they have that much of an influence on the songs? I've done a not very scientific experiment to find out, and to prove that it's scientific, I'm going to put some glasses on. So using a not very scientific sampling method, I asked anyone who follows me on Blue Sky if they want to take part in an experiment. And similarly, I asked people in the OGA UK members group, look at me, rising contributor. And these poor unfortunate souls who offered to take part in the experiment were asked to listen to one of 3 songs from the 1989 UK National Final, A Song for Europe. And Group 1 were asked to listen to this song. This is I Can't Stop Loving You by James Oliver. It didn't do very well at the contest, but they had to listen to it for 3 minutes, and at the end of the song they had to give the song a score out of 10, 10 being they really enjoyed it and 1 being they absolutely hated it. Now Group 2 were also asked to listen to I Can't Stop Loving You, but at the end they were also treated to the judges' comments of this man. This is Deke Ireland. He's a 1960s music producer, and we chose him because we thought he wasn't a very well-known person to anyone taking part in this study. And he gave very negative comments about the song. He said the lyrics weren't very fresh and they said things that had sort of been said before. So he didn't say very nice things. And the hypothesis here was that Deke, being an expert but not a very well-known expert, might not have that much sway on a modern audience. And perhaps we were right. The median score from Group 1 was no different to the median score from the people who got to listen to Deke Ireland. The average score was 4 out of 10, so people didn't really like the song, but Deke Ireland saying that he didn't like it either didn't really affect the vote. It didn't make things any worse, but it certainly didn't make things any better. Then we moved on to the third group. Now they were asked to listen to this song. This is Shame by Jane Alexander. This was a sort of mid-table song in the contest. And again, all they had to do was listen to the song, and at the end of it, they gave the song a score out of 10. Now Group 4 also had to listen to Jane Alexander's song, but at the end of the clip they were treated to Lulu giving her expert opinion. And for those of you that don't know, Lulu won the 1969 Eurovision Song Contest, and she gave a very positive report of the song. She said, this is my favourite, this is a really good song, I love her voice. She was really positive about the song. And the hypothesis here was that not only would a positive report make you vote more strongly for it, i.e. give more points out of 10, the fact that a former Eurovision winner had backed it, someone we should all know in the fandom, means that we were more likely to listen to Lulu and give the song a higher score. Except we absolutely didn't. It turns out that Lulu being really positive about this song actually made people vote for it less. The median score was about 5 out of 10 to the people who didn't listen to Lulu, but actually it dropped to 3.5 if you did listen to Lulu. And for those of you, those statisticians in the know, this was just about a statistically significant result. So Lulu giving a positive report didn't increase the score for the song, and in fact it made it worse. And then Group 5 were given this song. This is You Stepped Out of My Dreams by Julie C, and it came second in the contest. And again, they just had the song with no judge, and at the end they gave the song a score out of 10. But it's back to Deke Ireland, who really loved this song. He said, this is exactly the sort of thing we should be sending to Eurovision. It's a great song, it's what all the young people are listening to. This should definitely be the winner. So did Deke, as a unknown judge, being really positive, have an impact on the song? Well, if you look at this graph, you can see that the people who didn't listen to Deke got 4 out of 10, but those of you who listened to Deke Ireland, they graded the score 6 out of 10 as a median score. So you could say that Deke Ireland improved the score. Listening to Deke Ireland made people vote more favourably, but statisticians will know that this p-value means that the result is not significant. Now, there's a couple of fundamental flaws to this study. It's not a very scientific study. Anyone with any knowledge of research methods will know it's really badly. And this is the biggest problem, is that although 129 people took part in the study, not very many of you actually listened to the entire song. We can see some people listened to the song for 12 seconds and then filled in the survey. MS Forms keeps a lot of data, so we had to get rid of about 40 people from the study, so that left us with 90. But also, that meant groups 1 to 6 were also really small. Perhaps most worryingly, 2/3 of Eurovision fans couldn't identify Lulu. They were asked in the survey, when they watched the video of Lulu in, do you know who this judge is? And 2/3 of them had no idea who Lulu was. So my hypothesis that a Eurovision winner would have a greater effect on the song was completely blown out of the water, because it turns out Eurovision fans don't know who Lulu is. So what can we learn from this? Do expert panels have any impact on the results of national finals? I have absolutely no idea. I thought Lulu, being a well-known Eurovision winner, would actually increase the score of the song, and she made it worse, although Eurovision fans couldn't identify Lulu. And yet Deke Ireland, a man who I thought nobody would know, had quite a positive effect, albeit not a statistically significant one. And in case of the first song, where it did badly and continues to do badly, it didn't get any better or worse, but maybe you just can't make a bad song any worse. So to summarise, I have no idea if experts have any impact on the results. Most of you can't identify who Lulu is, and quite a lot of you don't actually stay to the end of a video.